This week on Create, Consume, Repeat, I designed my 2019 New York City Comic-Con cosplay and show you my creative process. It's an episode filled with horror, cosplay, Lovecraft, and Immortal Masks. So stay tuned. It all started back in 1981 with a movie about a deserted cabin in the woods and a nod to H.P. Lovecraft's Necronomicon. Evil Dead cast a spell on my nerd heart, causing my pre-teenage brain to seek out and devour every horror movie I could get my hands on. The Exorcist, Friday the 13th, The Thing, Fright Night, you name it, I watched it. But watching it wasn't enough. I needed to know how these films were being made and who was making them. This led me to Fangoria magazine, where I would fall deeper in love with the special effects makeup of Tom Savini, Rick Baker, and of course, Rob Bottin. Their pioneering work on films like Dawn of the Dead, An American Werewolf in London, and Legend would leave a lasting impression that would grow over the years. And if I'm being really honest here, was partially responsible for me attending NYU and working on indie horror films. Now, unlike most years where I've recreated a character from film, video games, or pop culture.
Who's your favorite rapper? Ooh, that's a hard one. Right now, I'm gonna have to say, I'm not a player, I just crunch a lot.
Woo! This year, I wanted to create original characters with a rich backstory you could understand at a glance, but still maintain that richness that rewards closer inspection. Not to mention, scare the crap out of people. I knew I wanted something Lovecraftian since I had been reading his literature for years and playing a ton of Lovecraft-inspired games like The Sinking City. I began to sketch and research the mythos, time period, and characters, pulling concept art from random sources, ultimately landing on the idea of a cultist that had gone too far, summoning powers he didn't fully comprehend, only to be seduced by the Elder Things. It would be an amalgam of the Call of Cthulhu board game and a Dungeons and Dragons mind flare. But what good is evil without the forces of good? I needed a heroine that was adventurous and unafraid to crypt crawl. She would be highly educated and well-versed in ancient civilizations and languages, a cross between Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones and Rachel Weisz's Evelyn Carnahan from The Mummy.
Take that, Bembridge scholars!
Obviously, pulling together these costumes would require a seamstress, leathersmith, cobbler, and special effects makeup guru, all of which I am not. So in order to make these costumes, I would need to outsource these items and provide as much detail as humanly possible, along with a history for each and every piece. From the belt, bracers, cultist robe, scapular, sandals, and medallion, it all had to convey a level of cult devotion only seen in films like Eyes Wide Shut and Ninth Gate. As for our heroine, her items needed to be utilitarian and faithful to the time period. Belts, tools, skeleton keys, compass, riding boots, holster, sidearm, and of course, the Necronomicon. Yet, with all that taken care of, one thing remained: the special effects makeup. As I mentioned earlier, I have had a love for horror since childhood. Over the years, I have tried tons of masks, only to be totally disappointed with the quality and detail. Not to mention, most are extremely uncomfortable with little thought given to essentials like comfort and breathing. Unwilling to endure hours of misery and certain that the right makeup would make this cosplay something to behold, I reached out to Immortal Masks, a company with a reputation for creating cutting-edge silicone masks that look and feel amazing. And boy, oh boy, did they deliver. It's so cool. From the outside, it's clear that this mask is a piece of art. The attention to detail is mind-blowing, and that's just the outside. Because once this thing actually goes on, it's like a second skin that moves with you. And with all that said, I haven't even touched on the craftsmanship, the mesh technology inside, and thoughtfulness poured into comfort, field of view, ability to hear what's going on around you, and most importantly, being able to comfortably breathe. And for those wondering, how did it perform in the field? Well, I wore this thing to New York City Comic-Con for 5 hours, posing, shopping, chatting, and scaring the crap out of people without a hitch. It was glorious. Love it, hate it, interested in more content like this? Drop a comment in the section below. And remember, hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'm trying to get this channel off the ground. I need your help. See you guys next time, and happy Halloween.